Howdy, partner. Welcome to the John Show. My name is John, and this is my show. And we ain't gonna do that for the whole video. Better. So, today, we're gonna do something a little bit different. If you've ever found my music channel, where some of my rap music from my previous career as a hip-hop artist, I wanted to branch out even back then, and so I started doing like food reviews. And there's also the video. I'm gonna link this here. That is the video that inspired the Headcanon series. That, and then two food reviews. One of them was one of my homies fixed me up a plate of Indian food, and I had never had Indian food before, so that was an experiment. And then the other one was, my birthday being in October, somebody for my birthday got me a box of the Cap'n Crunch with the Ghost Crunch pieces. Spoiler, the Ghost Crunch pieces do not taste like ghosts. They taste like Cap'n Crunch pieces. But the milk did turn green. You gotta stir that motherfucker up. Anyways, so today we're kind of gonna go back to that, and I am going to try this Sunset Sarsaparilla by the Jones Soda Company, which is actually locally here in Seattle, Washington. And I did not save the box. The box did have some neat art, but nothing that I would consider worth collecting. I was at Costco, did not realize that the promotion was still going on, didn't think I was gonna get my hands on a case. So I got 12 of these bad boys. They've been chilling in the fridge for a couple of days, and we're gonna do a blind taste test. I have not tried them yet, okay? Not only did it come with 12 bottles of sarsaparilla, it came with this card, little collectible thing, I think. And on the back side, it has this recipe for sort of a non-alcoholic sarsaparilla mint julep type drink, it looks like. But if I can get in there, this is not gonna focus, but there is this QR code here. And then this says, witness the science of refreshment, Sin City bartender, the Sin City bartender. I'm guessing that there are alcoholic versions of this or other alcoholic drinks that you can make with sarsaparilla, if you're so inclined. And of legal drinking age. This is not for children. I mean, this is for children, but don't be putting no gin in it, right? Like, unless you're 21, I'm not encouraging minors consuming alcohol. You're trying to get me on no shit. Other than that, it also came with this little bag. And in this little bag, it came with, see if we can do this without dropping any, 3 bottle caps. That's right. I'm rich, bitch. 3 bottle caps. It also, there's a QR code under here. You're not going to probably get it because this camera doesn't focus. But that bag, you're supposed to, I'm sure, collect your other bottle caps with. And I'm not saying that Bethesda will do this, but somebody did send them like 5,000 bottle caps, and they got a copy of Fallout 4 sent to them from Bethesda first day. So start collecting now. Maybe by the time Fallout 5 comes out, you'll be that one that gets the free copy for turning in, half of a metric ton of bottle caps. Or with the current situation of the planet right now, we may be using them as money in the future. So, you might want to hang on to a few. And in order to do that even better, I got eggs. This is, I know it says deputy. This is the, I think this is supposed to kind of be like in Fallout New Vegas when you're collecting bottle caps, especially the Sunset Sarsaparilla caps. Some of them have blue stars on the bottom. You can redeem once you get 50 blue star bottle caps. You can turn them in for a special prize, which turns out to be just a deputy badge, right? But this deputy badge has a bottle opener on it. So today, what we're going to do, I have this actually cold bottle of Sunset Sarsaparilla, and we are going to do a blind taste test. Like I said, I found these at Costco. Didn't even realize that the promotion was still going on. And they've been sitting in my fridge getting nice and frosty. This one's got a little bit of condensation on it. That first one that I showed you is going to be sitting on my shelf of wonder here probably forever, and I'm probably never going to drink it. So let's crack this bad boy open. Get that right up here by the microphone for you. Is that it? Blue Star bottle cap, baby. 49 to go. All right, so first sip of the Sunset Sarsaparilla from the bottle. Doesn't even have a scent. Oh, a little bit of vanilla. Okay. Sweet. Mild fruity notes, I think. Okay, now I got a used to be chilled glass. This is take number 3. Cold glass here. We're gonna just pour it out, get a good look at it. That's a good color. Can you get that by the microphone? Even more fruity notes when I've poured it out. Now, I'm just doing this to show you guys, you know, like, get a good look at the color, right? Didn't foam up, no head on it. Sometimes root beer will give you a head, a little bit of head, you know, a little bit of head ain't too bad. So let's take a big old swig. Okay. My initial thoughts are not as sweet as I remember other sarsaparillas being when I was younger. When I was a kid, I used to drink Sioux City sarsaparilla, which is a good sarsaparilla, but in my mind, I remember it being sweeter. Of course, I think everything was probably chock full of high fructose corn syrup back then, so of course it was probably sweeter. This is the unopened bottle. The ingredients are carbonated water, cane sugar, natural flavor, caramel color, citric acid, potassium sorbate, and sodium benzoate as preservatives. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ingredients in this soda. That's pretty fucking good. Well, 7 ingredients. I'm sure that like natural flavor is probably like sarsaparilla root, vanilla, probably some kind of a citrusy, either fruit or some other kind of floral note. That was a good one. That hit the red line on my meter here. Let's have some more. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Like I said, it is not as sweet, but it has the pure cane sugar as opposed to a high fructose corn syrup, which is probably why it's not as sweet. It has a very mild flavor. Like even root beers, again, root beers having mostly high fructose corn syrup in them. It's not as strong as a root beer though. A root beer, which used to be made of sassafras, now they have to use like sassafras isolates because there's some chemical in the sassafras root that causes cancer. So, you know, we're not even getting real root beer anymore, folks, but this is good. I ain't gonna lie. I could see how Sunset Sarsaparilla is the drink that won the West. And I really like the Jones soda, the attention to detail on like the labeling and everything, the coloring, the bottle, how simple the label is, you know, and yeah, it's got like some stuff on the back here. All right, so what does it say on the back here? Howdy, partner. Quench your thirst the old-fashioned way with an ice-cold bottle of Sunset Sarsaparilla. Legendary Wild West flavor cherished across the Mojave since 1918. And don't forget to keep an eye out for those elusive blue star caps. One day, fortune just might smile your way. Well, holy shit, cause I sure as shit got me one. By the way, I'm not making fun of the country bumpkin accent. I actually am a country bumpkin. I just have lived on the West Coast for most of my life, and I've developed that non-regional dialect. This is how country I am. I have a cousin named Rusty. He's not Russell. He's Rusty. Rusty married a Hatfield. You know. R.I.P. Rusty. To Rusty. All right. So, one bottle review. Sunset Sarsaparilla. A 12 case at Costco. We're going to do the math here. A 12 case at Costco costs $19.99. So they're $1.66 a piece, which is cheaper than buying like one of those Mexican Cokes at the grocery store. At the grocery store, a Mexican Coca-Cola is what I'm talking about. Algorithm, a Mexican Coca-Cola. That's more expensive than one of these at Costco. But you gotta factor in the membership. And of course, when you get there, you gotta buy like a 48 pack of toilet paper and a 7 pack of water. And also like, 15-pound bag of fucking cat litter or some shit. All right. That was the description, the taste test portion. Let's get into the review. At $1.66 a bottle, do I think it's worth it? Absolutely. Now, one thing I will say about the pure cane sugar sodas and Jones sodas in general tend to have a more candy flavor because they're working with real sugar. It has definitely more almost like a confection like aftertaste. Like I can definitely taste the real sugar from the drink. But Jones soda also makes a lot of flavors like blue raspberry, like sour apple and stuff like that. So that being said, it's not too sweet. It's not like drinking a root beer candy barrel, right? It's a very mild flavor. I can definitely taste the sarsaparilla. It's like sarsaparilla vanilla is kind of the baseline of a good sarsaparilla. This again does have sort of almost like a citrusy hint. Like the root beer bang also has that. If you've ever had that, where I worked, we got them really, really, really cheap. The root beer bangs, it's like root beer, but if you drank root beer right after you took a big bite of watermelon. So it's got like sort of a fruit taste behind the root beer flavor. This is kind of the same. Like you can smell sort of fruit flavor in the drink, but like, yeah, you can smell vanilla and like fruit of some kind, right? And then when you drink it, you can absolutely 100% taste the sarsaparilla, but then you also, on the back end, and I'm like, I can still taste it on the back of my throat, like that sort of citrusy flavor. And then my whole mouth is sort of like sugar. That's what it tastes like. Like as if I just like shoved a big spoonful of sugar in my mouth, and then, like sort of afterwards, it's just like still got sugar coating in my mouth. But they're pretty fucking good. If you got a membership to Costco, and this is not a paid promotion by Costco, by the way. Also not a paid promotion by Jones Soda. But Jones Soda, I'm local. You can support me if you want. By the way, Jones Soda, I'm gonna tell you something. I grew up absolutely 100% thoroughly believing people stole ideas from me, okay? When I was a little kid, I wanted to play He-Man with my sister, and I was like, hey, do you want to play He-Man with me? And she's like, only if I could use my Barbies. And I'm like, hell no, you can't use your Barbie. What are you gonna call her? She-Woman? Or she could be like his twin sister from another planet? And then that summer, She-Ra came out, right? when I was in high school, I wrote an outline for a movie called The Indestructible Man about a guy who woke up one day and was indestructible. He didn't have any other superpowers, and there were no other super villains or superheroes or anything. He was just indestructible. A few months later, one of my buddies is like, hey man, actually I guess this is like a couple years later. One of my buddies calls me up. He's like, have you seen or heard of that movie Unbreakable? And I'm like, no. And he's like, well, I'm sorry, dude. You should go see it. It's like 70% the outline for my story. So for a very long time, I thought people were stealing my ideas. Then when, back when like Snapple was the shit and they were doing the like, send us, ideas for drinks. And they came up with that like mango drink, I think, or as a peach drink. And the lady that coming up with that idea, didn't she end up becoming like their spokeslady or something like that for a while? So I was like, oh, Snapple, I got an idea for you. Make dinner, like a Thanksgiving meal. But don't make like turkey and mashed potatoes and gravy and stuffing in one bottle, because then it would taste kind of like bleh. But if you were to have like one bottle that was mashed potatoes and another bottle that was gravy and another bottle that was dressing, then you could go like, and you'd have like, oh, that was a bite of like mashed potatoes and gravy with a little bit of dressing. You know what I mean? Like, I came up with that idea. And then Jones Soda put out the Thanksgiving fucking soda. I'm probably going to cut all that shit out. Anyways, Jones Soda did a really good job with this. I haven't tried the Nuka-Cola or the quarts, but I have a fondness in my heart for root beers and sarsaparillas. And so when I saw this, I had to get it. And I had to try it. So what would I rate the Sunset Sarsaparilla? We're going to go with a good old Vault Boy thumbs up. Actually, it's really good. I would say I'll give it like an 8 out of 10. Okay. I don't know if I would give it a higher score if I had a Sioux City Sarsaparilla here to base it off of, because that's kind of what I'm going by on my memory is the Sioux City Sarsaparillas that I used to drink as a kid. So, but also, like I said, those seemed sweeter, and I feel like that was because of the high fructose corn syrup. So I would give it a higher rating, possibly a 9. If I had the other thing to compare it with, so that I could say, oh no, it's definitely high fructose corn syrup, gross, then this would get a 9. But if we're just going off nostalgia memory, I'm going to give Jones Soda Sunset Sarsaparilla an 8 out of 10. They're available at your local Costco for a limited time. This is, again, not a paid promotion by Costco, but Costco, you could throw me some money any fucking time you want to. This is also not a paid promotion by Jones Soda, but again, Jones Soda, you can pay me some money too. Thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you like what you're seeing, like what you're seeing. Remember, we're the little guy, so help us punch up. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more. Hit the little bell down there, do our little bell thingies. Share this with other people who you think might like my weird videos. And as always, thank you for watching The John Show. My name is John. This was my show. I appreciate you taking the time. You take care now.